Now, Marty Seligman, when we first started studying authentic happiness with him, taught us that there were three phases to happiness: pleasure, engagement, and meaning. This to me felt so wonderful because I wasn't the happiest person in the world, and I wasn't sure what was missing. And I realized I had lots of engagement. I loved my work. I was always doing it. You can see I get, this is what lights me up. I love being out here. So I had a lot of engagement. I think my work has meaning. I'm connected to something outside of myself. If I'm helping someone, I was a little low on the pleasure scale. So lucky me. Guess what my assignment was when I was in happiness school? I had to have more pleasure. And I did that primarily by learning how to savor experiences, how to be more mindful where I was, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But what he said made a lot of sense to me, and I never questioned it. So I studied with him, and he went on, after he had trained, he set out to train 1,000 coaches. I believe he trained 850 of us in the end. He went on to develop a master's program in positive psychology at the University of Pennsylvania. It's a marvelous program. The first year he ran the program, they were taking 35 students. They had 350 applicants. More than half of the applicants already had master's degrees and doctorates. And I don't know how they made the decision, but they chose the 35 students. And the students came to him and said, "Marty, we think you left out a few things." So they challenged him to broaden his authentic happiness theory, which said pleasure, engagement, and meaning. And he developed a new theory, which he talks about in his book, Flourish, which we call PERMA. Pleasure, engagement, relationships. Duh. That's a good thing to have in there if you want to be happy, right? You need to have fulfilling relationships in your life. Meaning and accomplishment. So now we have expanded how we think about this idea of happiness. In fact, the word happiness is not a very good word anymore for some psychologists in the field of positive psychology, because they feel it has been popularized too much with that little yellow smiley face thing. So they like to call it well-being, which is okay. I like that. Now we call it well-being. When Marty first started the Authentic Happiness Program, he had a goal, and his goal was to raise the tonnage of happiness on the planet. I thought that was cool. He's changed that goal, too. Now we have a big, hairy, audacious goal, and that is by the year 2051, we will see 51% of the world's population flourishing. I'm on board. Who wants to get on board with me? Yeah. Isn't that a great goal to be thinking of? I just got to chill. Isn't that a great goal to be thinking about? I mean, there are countries like Bhutan that have the gross national happiness instead of a gross national product. And if you look on the internet, there's a lot of activity around that because a lot of people are on board with this goal that we will see 51% of the world's population by 2051 flourishing.